Each Sunday night, I'd watch the practice with none of my friends. I'd turn the dial to ABC to see the creep of the week that Bobby Donald defends. But I'm out of practice.
With your host, Keith Barney.
Out of practice.
And Mike and Deglio, see?
Way back in high school, most every night, my mom watched QVC, so I missed the practice. There was no TiVo, what could I do? Wait 15 years, get fat, then stream it on Hulu. Out of practice.
I'll have you know that when I photoshopped that, I checked nothing. I just threw it up there, and look how perfect it is.
Some would say perfect. Some would say utterly terrifying. I feel a combination of the both.
And welcome to the Out of Practice Podcast, a weekly podcast in which Mike and I terrify you by discussing David E. Kelley's award-winning series, The Practice. Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of my mustache placement.
That's good. It's good.
Like it's only going to make sense for about 30 seconds of the 2.5 hours that we're going to do this, but it is so worth it to me. And the fact that I have control over the over our two shot here ahead of time means I can do whatever I want to poor Mike, because Mike doesn't check it until about 10 seconds before we record. So there's no time to fix it.
With great power comes great responsibility, which Keith does not respect. Or
abuse
wield
it
properly, yes.
In every possible way.
Well, this will force me to not look at my preview screen so that I don't have to continually feel like an a-hole. I thought it was bad enough I didn't comb my hair. I jumped right out of the shower, but you know, it's fine now. I'm just going to look like Doc Brown. Listen,
I should have matched the mustache to your hair. That was the problem.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of sad because on Tuesday, tomorrow or Wednesday, one of those days, I'm getting it re-younged.
Oh,
as I have to go sing some C-League Jersey Boys, and I want to look like not a 90-year-old man. I'm not trying to impersonate current Valley.
I'd say you have to do some Frankie, but because it's a ripoff. What is it, like Frankly or Frankie?
Keith, we got a new cat.
Yes. Yeah, hold on. Before you do that, because obviously we have to give. Yeah,
you're right. Proper.
We have to give proper acknowledgement to that. But we also, before we do that, I'm so sorry to interrupt your cat train of thought, because we have something really important to do as it relates to the practice that I can't believe it. Neither one of us even notice.
Not a shocker.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to send our acknowledgement to rest in peace, Alan Lowe and Ron Livingston. He has already done his final episode and is no longer in the credits, and we didn't even notice. I'm so sorry. Ron Livingston, you were a terrific addition to the show for about 11 episodes, and you're no longer with us.
How many of those was he in, though?
He was only in, I think, about 5 or 6.
Didn't get to bang anybody.
He banged nothing. He didn't even bang a gavel. Nothing. But, yeah, I mean, obviously Ron Livingston had movie gigs to do. Like, he was well on his way to becoming sort of a big deal. And they got him on the practice right after Band of Brothers. But then, they disbanded him.
Sorry, Ron.
And any other thoughts on the loss of our main character?
He came in, he replaced a killed-off character. He didn't get to bang nobody. He was sort of, he never got to know if he was a good guy or bad guy, and then he was like, I'm out. So I hope the next person they replace him with is as epic as this music.
That's perfect because the actual track is called Tragic Epic. And I loaded it on
fitting
for Tom Brady. It was perfect. All right. So then so there's that. Please, if anybody would like to memorialize Alan Lowe further than we have done, please do so in the comments below. But now it's time for something far more important on a podcast about the practice.
We have tried for years to make this podcast a success.
Yeah, we failed.
It's time to give the world what it wants. Meow, meow. Hot cat content. Meow, meow. Hot cat content. Meow, meow. Hot cat content.
Okay,
Yes.
finally, let us give this the weight it deserves. Tell us. Oh wait, no, that's not the right one.
Fitting though.
What is going on?
Goth Cat needs the proper. Well, we drove down to South Carolina, North Carolina. It was North Carolina, and I'll save that whole ordeal for another.
Oh
competition.
yeah.
You know, there was a litter of 6 cats, and my mother-in-law had kind of picked out which cat she thought we should take, which is one of the girls, because Jen wanted another
asshole.
female cat. And
She picked out the worst garbage cat she had
No,
to try to
she
give to
did
you.
pick out one of the cats that was a little bit scaredy, because she thought we could give it a more kind of like, nurturing kind of home. Now, what I noticed right off the bat was that of the 6, 4 had kind of paired off into 2 duos, and Scaredy Cat, which was named Owlie, was paired up with another cat, and I thought for sure they should stay together. My gut was like, those cats need to stay together, either to be adopted together or in perpetuity with my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
I knew that if we took it home, my orange cat, as people may or may not know, Keith, is a how do I say it? He's awesome, but he is unpredictable at times.
Yeah, Dee is, he's bold. He's a bold flavor of cat.
He's a bold flavor. He's a Doritos Cool Ranch. So I was afraid he would dominate this scared little kitty. And so anyway, there was 2 other cats that were less beautiful in coat. They were black cats, one tuxedo and one all black. And then this other guy, the 2 males, were a little bit more dominant and aloof. And I was like, that's what we need. Jen took a little convincing. Long story short, we picked the tuxedo cat, thought he would be a good fit, brought him home. 7 hours in the car, you think, kitten, car, crying, throwing up. Cats don't always like the car.
No.
He slept. He didn't care. Didn't even care. Slept in Jen's lap the whole time, got him home, sequestered him into his own little room, as they say you should do, for weeks on end. By the end of night 1, my Dee cat was sniffing at the door, and I was like, well, let's just see how this goes. I opened the door. I got to working. I stopped paying attention to the cats. Within 2 hours, they're playing chase. They're sleeping together. They're buddies.
It's amazing. And you sent a picture or a video of it.
I did.
And
I'll,
they're like,
up on the
they're
screen
like
right
best
now.
friends.
I'll put a picture. Will appear at some point.
Our cat photo of the week.
Yes. They're friends now, and it's pretty awesome. And things are good so far. He's little, so I'm a little nervous to go away for a little while, but I'm sure he's going to be just fine. So yeah, we got a new
Dee's
new
going to
pet.
eat him.
No. He does play a little. Sometimes he's biting a little hard, the little guy, but the little guy meows and it's triggering, but then he goes. The other thing, unfortunately, CEO Jen had to leave because my sister's 17 dog just turned 17, and today is the day that unfortunately they've got to make the hard decision. So our hearts go out to them. And I guess, how's Charlie Jr.?
Yeah, that's a tough call. I wish the best for everyone. Charlie Jr. is great. He is sleeping. So my mother-in-law got him one of those little cat houses that you can climb inside, which he ignored for 2 weeks. And we're like, how are we going to tell my mother-in-law that he just is not interested in that type of a thing?
Right.
Until it was like a day, it was a quiet day. So I started working on my music and singing full volume, which, as you can imagine, is on the higher scale of loudness, and couldn't find the cat anywhere. He went into the unfinished half of the basement, which we are never there, and climbed into the damn thing, hiding from my singing. So turns out he loves it. So now he is sleeping on it on my desk next to me as we talk
That's awesome.
now. So that's what's going on with Charlie. I think it's time to find out what's going on with you in a little segment we call
Filings and subpoenas.
See how I found it there? I had to stall.
Filings and
Tripped over every word.
I think tripping over every word is what I have done for 130 episodes. I think if that is a deal breaker, you're done.
Hours of it.
Hours, like days, weeks. I mean, any segment done in hours for us is like, forget it.
Miracle,
We've done everything for hours. However, we have heard from a good friend and CEO. We have heard from CEO Jen, who says Cameron Manheim, talking about last episode, is a walking masterclass in acting. Also, if Mitchell really wanted to make things right and admitted everything to Kittleson and powers that be, it would be a whole different story. Bye, Mitchell. I couldn't agree more.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, because like, what the hell? Like, who did that episode think they were fooling? I don't know. And it sure as heck wasn't CEO Jen. It surely was not. Okay, well, you know what? We've only talked to Phoenix about Star Trek this week. So
okay.
We're going to have to just like jump right forward. But if you would like to talk to us, you can reach us at outofpracticepodcast@gmail.com on the Facebooks and the Instagrams at outofpracticepodcast. And right below here on the YouTubes, we will happily read your comment. You can also do us a huge favor and join the jury. You can do that by leaving a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or any other service of your choice. Let us know. We'll read it. We'll be so grateful. We would really, really appreciate it. It helps more than... it would be awesome at some point if more than Phoenix and CEO Jen actually listened to this. It would be it'd be very exciting.
Do you want me to flirt with your mom? I can do it. Just send us an email, and I'd be happy to make an illicit pass at your mother.
Mike will hit on your mom. That is the Out of Practice Podcast guarantee.
I could do it on Cameo, but that costs money. This is free.
The cheapest, weirdest hit on your mom on the internet. So, which is probably really saying something. All right. Well,
can't wait to put that on the internet.
And while I think about the implications of all of that, let us use some travel time and travel back in time, back to March 17th, the year 2002, and answer everybody's question. While everyone questions, do I really want Mike to hit on my mom? I don't know. I don't think I do. But in the meantime, he's going to tell us what was going on
This day in the basement.
Well, I think back to 2002, and if I'm not mistaken, hold on. Was this? I had something planned. Now I'm questioning whether it's right or not.
Oh, are you sorry? I'm sorry. Are you just want to make this clear? You are wondering about the appropriateness of something you're about to do 20 seconds after saying you will hit on everyone on the internet's mom. That's what's going through the head right now?
No, I was just trying to remember. No, it's not. I don't think it's now. So forget it. I'm gonna pull a mulligan. This would have been around the 22nd birthday of CEO Jen, who I hadn't met yet.
Snap!
But we were both in the same city, and what's interesting to know is that she was, I think, finishing up NYU. She was either on tour as Maria at this point, or things that wouldn't happen now, or she was still down in NYU, where I was often visiting the South Street Seaport. I liked to, that was one of the places I would go because it was so far from where my school was. I'd like to go down there to the Battery and kind of walk around and feel like I was somewhere else for a while. And she would have been down there celebrating her birthday. And so I sometimes think, what if we were crossing paths? Would have been interesting.
It's possible, right?
Yeah.
Boy, she does sing the crap out of that role.
Yeah. Well, in a couple of years, when you and I go on our, I won't even call it a B League tour. I don't know if they've made enough letters to really describe the look.
It's definitely one of like those special characters you have to hit a second button to get to level tour.
But at that point, she was already auditioning and getting on Broadway. So we were on divergent paths that somehow found each other. So that was we're celebrating in the time machine today. We're celebrating CEO Jen's 22nd birthday. But now we're going to zoom out a little bit, Keith. And where were you? What were you up to?
Well, I was, not doing anything cool like that, but I was in rehearsals for a production of La Boheme it was the last opera. Puccini, yes, indeed. The last opera I did at Eastman. Now, if you remember way back to telling our 9/11 stories, I was auditioning for this production. And guess what? I didn't get it. But I was in the ensemble for a pretty good production of this, which I very much enjoyed. It was pretty cool because the Eastman really invested in their productions there. So in the Eastman Theater, which is the 3,000 seat house with like a real legit set, and we had snow, we had the whole deal. It was actually it was pretty fun. And one of our Mimis, because it was double cast, would in less than 10 years do the La Boheme on Broadway, the Boz Lerman one, in that role.
Sweet.
So it was pretty darn good. Now the other thing that I was doing, also throwing it back to way back when, I played a little bit of a recording of myself singing a song at Eastman with my buddy Phil Palmer, who wrote it and was doing that recording class. And at this point, literally this day, because I checked the emails, I have the receipts. I was recording the next song for him, which this time we had full brass. Another role that I probably shouldn't have been singing, much like all of us in the early 2000s. But it was really fun to have actual real live brass. Anyway, so that's what I was doing. Where's the fade out button on this? There it is.
Well, I'm going to keep jamming until you fade.
Oh, I'll just leave it here. I just want to... I'm going to watch my jam. This is what you're missing out if you're not actually watching this on YouTube, is watch Mike play the trumpet with his fingers.
Sorry, that was probably pretty loud.
All right. That was fun though.
Yeah.
I might do more recordings now and watch Mike do interpretive dances on that.
Please do.
All right, it is time to zoom out further, continuing to talk about March 17th, but this time, let's talk about everything else that was going on.
It's time for the Out of Practice Podcast's This Day in the World. The greatest hits, the biggest movies, headlines from Vermont, essential sports updates, and for some inexplicable reason, the weather from 20 years ago.
It was cold!
Now back to Keith and Mike.
Okay, folks. Like I said, we're talking about March 17th, the year 2002. The cover of the Burlington Free Press talked about cutting commuter train may cost state millions. Because, we were in not caring about trains or public transit. And boy, that worked out great for everyone and everything. But I do hear there's, I saw something on Facebook that they might be putting the commuter train back up in Vermont soon.
Well, yes, a lot of these trillions, 1 point whatever trillion in this infrastructure package is geared for lots of mass transit. So hopefully we see some improvement. Yeah.
And I can say any number of things about our president right now, but dude loves trains.
Yeah.
Dude loves trains, and he should love trains. They are good for you. and like I don't know, like an apple or something. But they're good mass transit, clean, efficient. Come on, guys, get on the train. Get on the train. The top movie was Ice Age, which took in $46 million, the first Ice Age. And the top song, which you will be hearing once Mike does it in post, is Ain't It Funny Murder Remix. Again, taking over the world. Now it is time for the most important segment.
Hold on. Somebody educate me, because we had this with Ja Rule before when he was singing with J-Lo. Like, there's always a murder remix. What is that? Just a person murder? What is a murder remix?
No idea.
Like, should we know? Is that something as music people we should be familiar with?
As people with music degrees. I have no idea.
I guess we skipped that minor in murder remixes.
They didn't do the murder remix of La Boheme, which is what I was doing right now, so.
All right, well.
Look, that's what it says on Wikipedia, and that is the level of detail we go for on this show.
Look,
we go to Wikipedia.
From pointless remixes to pointless recaps of sports.
Pointful. Because it's sports. They all have points.
Oh.
It's time for sports.
The Boston Bruins lost 2-1 to the Phoenix Coyotes out in Arizona. Mike Knuble scored the only goal for Boston. Oliwan Nazarov fought in the first. Girardi and Lankow dropped him in the third. The Flyers beat the Devils 4-2 in Jersey with goals by Kapanen, Desjardins, Abonte, and Weinrich. Roman Czechmanek was in the net for Philly, out-dueling Hall of Famer Marty Brodeur.
All right, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to make him fit in the little music cue because I'm a professional.
I'm missing my mustache.
Oh yeah. Is it itchy now that you've taken it off?
Yeah, I can grow it back real fast though. You'll see.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to it. But we have an important thing to do before we do that, and that is
I'm a human being. God damn it! My life has value, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
It's time to talk about the damn episode.
Folks, we are talking about The Practice, Season 6, Episode 16, Manifest Necessity. Manifest Necessity. I
see
like
what they
it.
did there? Yeah, I see what they did there.
I do. And it was written by Peter Blake, who last wrote on Eyewitness, and directed by Christina Musray, who last directed on The Test. Which means, folks, there's only one more thing to do because Mike has a hard out. You know, he's got stuff to do, so I can't just filibuster his afternoon. But I can.
You could. And the episode would just cut at 5:30.
I could, but, Mike's going to have to filibuster his own afternoon in a segment we call...
What is that supposed to mean?
Do you notice
What's
the
your
pirate
problem?
is still there? It's still a pirate.
Is this what happens to women when you
Always.
insert your penis?
Always a pirate.
What?
What?
What does Mike think's gonna happen?
Sexy pirate now.
Drank the curdled milk, then
I'll
what
put-
would have happened?
I should put him in lingerie. I don't even remember the pirate inside joke. It's been so long.
No, somehow you made a pirate reference, and then the whole season was about pirates. I really don't remember.
It never changed the graphic. So we've come so far. We've jumped the shark on our own joke.
Oh, all of our jokes have gone from like, oh, that was sort of funny, to like, wow, you're really hitting that hard, to, wait, what was it even about? That is the progression of our comedy here.
Since we're going fast, I have the sexiest of all pitches here. I'm looking at these
Going
mustaches.
fast?
Yeah, I'm looking at these mustaches. Clearly, Lucy has something to do in this episode. So I'm gonna really go for it here. I was so right last week that I need to say something that's gonna make me so wrong this week. Lucy has an uncanny sort of crush on our guest star that I have not looked at the Wikipedia, so I do not know who it is, but I'm going to guess from the mustaches that we are going to work with the one and only Wilford Brimley on this week's episode of Out of Practice. And Lucy is taken by his mustache and is just all in on the diabetes.
You want to take a rod on this diabetes?
Now, if I'm right about this, I think I quit the podcast. I'm gonna go move to LA or Las Vegas.
Wow.
So there you go.
Will Lucy try to ride the walrus? We will find out. You can listen to it on your favorite podcasting service of choice. Otherwise, we'll be right back for the oopsies.
And we are stashed, baby.
We are. That's true. I'm so proud of that.
Yeah, you've done well.
Well, we just watched an episode of the practice, but I really want to know how Mike's brain will encapsulate this in a 30-second span in a segment we call
2, 3, 4. Mike has 30 seconds to remember what just happened on the show. Segment.
Yo! Oh God, I'm still talking. That guy killed his business partner, but like all of a sudden, all the witnesses were like, "Nope." And then the witnesses was like he had a big stash, and it wasn't Brimley, it was Offerman, and he was like, "I'm killed." And so then the DA was like, "Yo, bad news. We got to do some shady business." And Helen was like, "Oh, he shouldn't have done that." And the judge was like, "Yo, mistrial, bitch." On the other side, Philly has cancer and needs to go to the hospital and jail.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm dead. All right. Now, can you do all of that again in fewer syllables?
Yeah, I'm concerned about it, but we'll try.
Woohoo! Nothing makes for better television than Mike's concern.
Do you have the thing? Oh, it's me.
It's you.
Fun uncle killed him. Oh shit.
Just listen to the water. It'll calm your mind.
But then he still got away.
Uh-huh.
Philly wants some jail.
Okay, that is
no.
nice. Look, technical victories are still victories.
Oh, that was embarrassing, that one.
No, it really, I mean, like, look,
They can't all be
where credit
winners.
is due. They can't all be winners, but you're coming up with a haiku on the fly, on camera. I think that's pretty good, regardless of how it goes. So, credit where credit is due. It's now time for us to hand out some awards. What do you say? In a segment we call
Ladies and gentlemen, the Out of Practice podcast, in unofficial, unsolicited, unfactual association with David E. Kelly Productions, proudly present
Oopsie.
The Oopsies! Celebrating excellence in acting good, lawyering good, guesting good, and being Tom Brady. Not to mention, this is where we rate the episode and stuff. Now, here are your hosts, Keith and Mike.
What the hell are the oopsies?
Oh boy, I don't know why you keep asking, Jackie. I mean, because we explain it every single week.
I do.
It's a fake award show that begins with everyone's favorite. It will never stop being funny.
I can feel it. I can feel it when it happens. I mean, so Bobby and Jimmy get their guy off, but they almost had zero agency in it. I guess Lindsay, it could be said, I don't even know how she was effective in this. It's like McGonagall sort of, I don't know. I need some help.
No,
well, a judge is a lawyer, so
a judge technically has to pass the bar. So I think I'm with you because honestly, everybody else was either peripheral or causing damage everywhere they went.
A lot of collateral damage.
A lot of collateral damage. And the only person who, I think ethically Helen did what she was supposed to do. So credit to that. But she's not actually lawyering in that situation. Whereas the judge had to separate all of these tangled webs and do the only thing he could do. And so, yeah, I think it's McGonagall for me. Okay. Well, congratulations, McGonagall. I found it. There we are. Yay!
Now that's the judge's name. What's the actor's name again?
Richard McGonagall is the actor.
And the judge is Judge
Wilcox.
Okay, so really the MVL is Judge Wilcox.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
The actor is like,
I've really rubbed off on you. I've really rubbed off on you, not knowing everything's just
oh my God.
Helter-skelter.
No tires for us. No tires. All right, but we do have whew, here we go. It's time.
Already famous cause you've been on TV, getting a paycheck. Or the first entry on your IMDb. Way to go. But you're the best guest actor. You are the best guest actor. You are the best guest actor on the episode.
Well, first, the best guest actor on this episode.
Are we gonna meet him? Folks, tune to your YouTubes. We're going to have... Oh!
There he is.
Look at that guy.
You say hi.
It's your first podcast appearance.
He's like, I want to go play with Dee Dee.
Well, obviously. Very cute. Charlie has not moved a centimeter. He's still asleep upside down. So...
Well, that's the best way to sleep.
He didn't want to be on the show today, sadly.
So... I didn't even change the thing. I was so excited.
Got a lot of good candidates here for best guest actor.
Here's the thing. A guy who played Philly was great. I loved him.
James Handy.
James Handy. He came in handy this episode. Offerman, I'm not sure he said much, did much. He got killed. I believe you have to make it to the end of the episode to be considered for the oopsie?
I don't think that would qualify us.
Yeah, that's a good point. But still, I didn't find him to be the strongest guest actor.
Well, he didn't have much to do.
I think that proper name Richard McGonagall had a lot to do, gave some really, we talked about this a few episodes ago, a really grounded performance at the judge with some really heightened stakes.
Yep.
Not only did I think his last monologue was excellent, and all of the chamber stuff was excellent. What I really enjoyed about his performance was, yes, once again, we were told via exposition that he and the district attorney had history, right? We were told that.
Which we did see in a previous episode.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Okay, that kind of cuts the balls off of what I'm about to say, but I was going to say... We weren't given a lot of context of what that was, but it didn't really matter because both of their performances filled in a lot of those blanks. There was a palpable tension between them that I thought was well acted and I could feel without all of the exposition that was still given to us anyway. At the end of the day, though, for me, not only did I think the writing of that character was at least consistent, I thought some of the other portrayals were a little... We're going to talk about it shortly. There's a lot of unevenness here. There's a lot of cresting waves throughout this episode. But I think Richard McGonagall, for me, was the best guest actor performance for this week.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And yes, we should definitely give James Handy a hand. And also, I thought Bill Simitrovich was very good as well.
Excellent. Very, very
good.
But he's in the credits now, or he's still not in the credits?
No, he's not in the credits. So he's not. He is still a guest actor. But I think you're entirely right. I think Richard McGonagall really is excellent in this role. He's able to do authority without being imperious. If you know what I mean? Like, he's able to be like, I'm in charge here, and I don't need to be a dick to prove it. And I think that is just a certain type of person, certain type of actor who can pull that off. So congratulations on your, that's the wrong button, with your double oopsie. Richard McGonigal and Judge Will Cox coming up next.
You killed your podiatrist or blew the case, but you let a single tear run down your face. You're the best actor on the show.
We had a bunch of them. Lindsay Kelly Williams gave a really compassionate performance and even tried to sell that last beat where everybody was accusing her of being complicit in murder, and she was like, I didn't want to hurt anybody. In reality, like, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was just, it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Eugene, Steve Harris was great. Everybody was great. Bobby, I can't get past Bobby's, and his first thing was like, this is his lucky day.
Lucky day.
Cameron gave her one line. I think for me, this is Lara Flynn's episode. She got put in the most interesting scenarios, I think, and was able to flex a little bit. I thought that her being caught between the rock of like her colleague and doing the right thing, and then Bobby kind of calling her. I thought that kind of being in that trap was she was interested in that, and she also did some awesome things that Lara Flynn Boyle often does that we don't always call. She does some great face. Like there was one point when the DA, what's the DA's name?
Walsh
was not intimidating, was laying out the stakes for Offerman to potentially rat out whoever was pressuring him. She was doing this kind of look. She was giving this look that was like, yeah, he's so badass. Like it was, she does some great reacting as well. And so I think I'm going to throw this one Lara Flynn's way.
Yeah, I think it's Lara Flynn's episode. I mean, this episode was sort of was weird because it really wasn't, our main cast didn't really have anything to do. I mean, honestly, yeah, Lindsay's there, but she's just sort of talking. Well, I mean, that's what you do on a TV episode, but there really wasn't much going on. And, and the only character of our main cast who had a lot to do was Lara Flynn. I loved the showdown between McGonigal and Simitrovic, but it's still not like, why isn't that the showdown between the judge and one of our main cast?
Yeah.
I think they've just, I'll talk about it in the tires, but it feels like the show's sort of running out of ideas a little bit. And so I think that's affecting things. Nonetheless, congratulations, Lara Flynn Boyle, with your Best Actor. Oopsie. Now, speaking of things that apparently will never run out of tires, our good friend,
the Tom Brady Award for being Tom Brady.
No brainer, Stash Brady doing an infomercial for diabetes.
Diabetes Stash Tom Brady. Congratulations. I mean, that one wrote itself. All right, now let us talk about something that should have written itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to announce how many spare tires this episode gets.
I'm gonna need your help here, buddy. It was just sort of, there's nothing outright bad, right? There's nothing ridiculous or bad. Like you said, it just felt sort of like decent, not even good pitches, right? It wasn't even like a good pitch. I mean, we talked a week or two ago. Here's a great pitch for an episode, and then the follow through was meh, or like but this was not even a pitch. It was just sort of like grab bag of potpourri ideas, right? Let's do a case about this, and then guy gets sick in prison, and then the follow through is sort of like, I'd say the A case has a better follow. The B case we can talk about. It was great acting by the guest and by Kelly Williams, and yet almost nonsensical. Like not. And then like the stakes, the weight of it feels unbalanced. Like the way Lindsay's treating it is very like, oh, grandpa. And then it turns out like he sort of like indirectly killed a lady. And we sort of like don't weight them. It didn't feel weighted properly.
Yeah.
The A case, I understand, like you said, what feels uneven about it is that literally Jimmy and Bobby are just kind of just like sitting there staring at the action unfolding the whole episode.
Yeah.
The whole episode. And whilst the kind of inter-office drama between Helen Gamble and her colleague / guy who outranks her is interesting, if not sort of out of nowhere. Their coach, it's like and it's telegraphed. Like you said, we were telegraphed everything. We discovered nothing as the audience. The big reveals we sort of knew were coming, and then they indicated so hard in the elevator that he was going to go and be improper with this witness that it's not even surprising when Helen is like forced into the situation where she's like, and they made her objections very clear, right? Be different maybe if they were like really good friends and they were working together really well, and all of a sudden she was put into this impossible situation. But no, like it was clear she had reservations, and Bobby, just none of it worked for me. So I'd love for the audience to like write in and tell me why I'm wrong about that. But I just not even the acting was good. Madonna was, but like none of it felt. If you asked me of the season, like to pick out some episodes that you have to see, this is not on the list. But if you needed a good drink today, the Philly drinking game was.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'm going to say 6.42 stars.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I think you're right. It's these last set of episodes have been, I feel, just undercooked. And I understand what is the heart of the episode we just watched. It's that conflict between Simitrovich and McGonagall. I'm like, great. That is a great finale to an episode. That is a great place to lead to. Let's get there. Let's let them do that. But how we got there just felt undercooked. I mean, it was just like there's got to be a more interesting way to get us to that moment. And the reveals, like you said, the audience is ahead of your characters, and that's just never a good thing, especially for a smart show like this, right? So we knew what was going on in Philly's case before Lindsay did. We knew what was going on with Simitrovich before Bobby did. And it was just one of those things where we didn't even know that because the show revealed it to us. It's just your plot wasn't as smart as your characters. Yeah. You had to dumb down smart characters in order to keep them behind the plot. So it's just not good. It's not good plotting. It's not good writing. You should never have to write your characters dumber, because especially in a show like this, it has a smart audience. It's a smart show. And so you have to rise to that level. But I really just do sort of get the sense, and what the hell do I know? I know nothing. I've accomplished nothing. I know nothing. Everyone in that room has been more successful and more accomplished than I'll ever be in my life. But it feels a little bit like they were just getting tired. And the grind of 23 episodes for all of those years, it's just a lot. It's a lot, and it's a lot when you only have X amount of characters to try to give all of these stories to. And they haven't explored a lot of things. It feels like they're very constrained in what they can do storytelling wise.
Well, because we in previous seasons we've had overarching plots.
Yeah.
Throughout the season, character based. The relationships between Lindsay and Bobby, the ongoing conflict of dude trying to kill nun guy trying to kill everybody, Vogelman. We've had overarching things. Here we haven't really had that as much. They started something with Bobby early on, and that kind of fizzled. And I imagine at some point they plot what the season finale is going to be. And so you've got this middle, I guess what do you want to call it? The penultimate sort of leg that is a little half-baked.
Yeah, and it's been very episodic and been not as cleverly put together. Is
Joey Herrick not coming back? I feel like we're running out of time on the series.
Is Joe on? I can't tell you whether Joey Herrick's going to come back. That's not what we do here.
You're right.
But what we do, I said do, is hand out tires, and I have to give my tires too. What you said was right. There's nothing, it's not a bad episode. Like, there was nothing horrifically wrong with this episode. You know, it's not some like crazy ham-fisted action sequence or something that's horribly offensive. Like, it's just, And so we get what? 6.
That's the thing. I gave it 6.42. Sometimes meh is worse than bad. And sometimes.
Well, it's just,
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in you.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly it. I'm just like, come on, guys. You only get so many shots to, fill 42 minutes of airtime. Mm-hmm. Like, do better. You can do it. I know you can do it because I've seen you do it. So as I throw stones from 20 years later, and I will be throwing 6.21 tires in my glass house.
Okay. While we're here, we should talk about, I think everybody knows, we got Offerman, we got Brimley, we got other guy with the stash. It's been an episode of mustaches from God.
It sure has. Okay, folks, you have gotten through another episode of the Out of Practice Podcast. If you would like to communicate with us, we'd love it. We're lonely. You can email us at outofpracticepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Out of Practice Podcast. While you're there, while you're feeling judgy, you should judge us. Leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or any other service of your choice. You'll join the jury. We'll be so happy to have you. We will read your comment, good, bad, or ugly. And while we're talking about people we're thankful for, we would like to say thank you to our founding sponsors, Jorge Novoa, Cloud Lover 69, Leanne Wrights, Jennifer Masanova, and Kari Kuhn.
Did you know you can be one of them? You can get your own personal mustache photoshopped on your face if you really want it, or I'll hit on your mom. All you got to do is click on those links in the show notes to leave us a one-time donation or a monthly contribution. Or just tell a friend to watch our Star Trek show or this podcast or any of the neat things we have coming up. Guys, I know it's hot out there. It's summertime. Do you know where they have great air conditioning? Prison. If you would like to go to prison, go to a bank, tell them that you're going to rob them. If they ask if you have a gun, say nope, but I've got a laser gun and I might shoot off some laser sounds.
Liability sounds. Laser sounds.